Now today we're going to clean, rebuild, install, and pressure test the injectors on the S2000, so let's get to it. The first thing I've done is clean the injector, and this is something I did in a separate video. Simply used Super Clean, a toothbrush, and as you can see it removed all of the dirt, grime, and grease that was built up on each injector after 20 years of usage. So make sure you have a nice clean surface. It also goes without saying that if you want to test the injector, make sure that it's working. You can do that at this point. And what I'll do is include a link in the description box below, just showing you how you can do that. So we just have a couple of seals. We have a sealant ring on the bottom. So this is the section that fits in the intake manifold. This is a cushion ring, and this is an O-ring. Now typically if you buy a kit from your local auto parts store, this is what you'll find inside, all of the rings that you need. But up on top, there is, if you look closely enough, I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up, but there is a metal screen in there, a filter. And sometimes you can find these filters. Now the reason why I say sometimes, if you go to the dealership and you want this metal screen, typically they won't have it. They'll sell you the entire injector. In my case, I'm just reusing it. Again, it's perfectly clean. I'm perfectly happy with what I see here. But if you want to go that extra step, by all means, go for it. So, what we need to do is replace these parts. So the O-ring, as you can see, this is just clean engine oil. And I just put a very, very small amount of clean engine oil on the O-ring. We'll insert the cushion ring. And then the sealant ring, I'm not going to insert on the injector. Again, I'm going to put just a little bit of clean engine oil and place this on the engine, on the intake manifold. And then slip the injector right on. So if you have a pick, by all means, you could just remove this O-ring. In my case, I'm just going to use a flathead. Slowly pry this up, if I can here. Hold on. I tend to use a pick, but I try to do videos based on what people have at home. And unless you work on cars a lot, you may not have a pick. You can even use a file. So this is the cushion. Okay, now don't get these mixed up, by the way, the old and the new ones. Old and new parts. And this is the sealant ring. Okay, let me just clean my hands. Okay, I'm just cleaning the injector one last time. This is the cushion ring. Now again, the risk that you have if you don't replace these parts, you may have a very slow leak. So what may happen is you won't find any fuel on your engine or on the intake, but especially if you park in a garage, you turn off your vehicle and then the next day your garage just reeks of fuel, then you have a leak, obviously. So this is why you just want to do the due diligence. I think each kit here for all of the rings, each box, it was like $5. I mean, it's very, very inexpensive. New injectors can be quite pricey. Okay, so just do the due diligence. Okay, so new O-ring up on top, clean engine oil, and then just want to be careful I don't drop this. There we go. Okay, get my rag. Now the sealant ring, I'm not going to place on here yet. Okay, I'll bring you over to the vehicle in a second. Let me just replace everything here and show you how I'm going to insert these. Now before we install the sealant rings, I'm just cleaning out. Watch how much dirt is in here. Again, super clean on the end of a Q-tip. Okay, just make sure you clean the area. So here's the sealant ring. Again, just coat it in engine oil. Place it right there. See how nice it fits? And now what I'm doing is simply installing the injector into the fuel rail, and then we'll place this back on top of the engine. Okay. There we go. So once you wrap that up, you just want to simply tighten down the retaining nuts So now I'm just reinstalling the harness connectors back onto the injectors and putting the main fuel line back on the vehicle. Always use new washers as well when you do this. And this is just a fuel damper. Now the other thing I'm quickly doing is checking any rubber hosing that's old, deteriorated, and really needs to be replaced. So right here, this is the original hosing, and certainly a good time to replace it. Now this leads all the way to the bottom of the vehicle, and then I'll just replace the entire line. So everything is pretty much ready to go here. I've installed that new fuel line, and now I'm just turning the ignition key to the on position. I'm not starting the vehicle, just turn it to the on position, let the fuel system build up in pressure, and then you want to check for leaks. So it's been a couple of minutes and I don't smell anything, so we are in good shape. I would start the car at this point, but unfortunately I'm waiting for the valve cover to come back from powder coating. Once that comes back, we'll start the car. I have the fenders coming in, the bumper, leathers for the seat, and we'll get this thing up and running.